All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Listen, I am going to talk about Chasing Dallas season 2 reunion. Now, this is part 2. So, I did part 1 review. I'm doing part 2 today. So, it opens up. A lot of the cast is upset with Ressie G, the executive producer and cast member. Now, Ressie G, it opens up with him crying because the call time was at 8 o'clock and they did the show. They taped it around like supposed to be at 8:30. Black folks, they show up around like 10:30 something. So he just boo-hooing and crying. So he was just really crying like, "Oh my God, they treating me like dirt. They're not showing up on time." Then one of the ladies was like, "Well, if they were getting paid to show up for this call time, they would definitely do it on time." But this is the thing: a lot of those people were just using, according to Reese G, just using them. So he was just crying. She was like, "Don't let them get under your skin. Don't let them get all under your skin and doing all this. They not coming on time and everything like this." So I went on. I'm listening to him. I mean, he just boo-hooing and crying. So they finally get downstairs. Finally get back to the set. So they having a conversation. Now George is having a conversation with Reese G. He's upset because he wasn't invited to the party, but then he said he wasn't upset because he's gonna show up anyhow. Then they upset Reese G because the scene that George bought some liquor, some cheap wine, some cheap liquor for his apartment, and that they did not show up for that scene. They called and said the scene was canceled. George, another cast member of Chasing Dallas, was extremely upset because he works from a funeral home and he did not want his job ID badge, any of that stuff showing because the show is a very messy show. Anyhow, we all knew he worked at Golden Gate Funeral Home and they put all his information out. They had him where he had his ID badge and he had his stuff all on there, and he was extremely upset that his personal business was all on the show. Now, we all knew his personal business was on there, and he said he did not know it until the show aired. And Reese G told him, "Well, we can't edit it out because we had sponsors. Because anytime the video go public, they're not going to restream the episode, especially when they didn't already pay the editor or they already got all these sponsors." So George was upset. Even in George the show, they allegedly said that he raped one of the cast members or sexual assaulted one of the cast members on the show. And I think that was a very, I'm glad they didn't bring it up during the reunion, but they brought it up during the episode, and that could pretty much mess up his bag. So he was extremely upset about that. Then it gets to Carrie D. Now, Carrie D is very sweet, Southern Belle. He's not into the mess, not into drama. He went off on Reese G. He said, "How in the world you're so organized that I'm up here taping all these shoots and it don't make it on the show, and then when it do make it, I don't get a producer credit. I'm doing all this work and I'm calling Reese G, saying, 'Reese G, do you need any help?' Reese G telling me, 'No, I don't need any help. I got it.' And obviously, girl, this is Carrie D. Obviously, girl, you do need help." Now, we all know that Reese G is trying to do two jobs. He's trying to be executive producer and he's trying to be a cast member. You can't do both very effectively. Something is going to slack, especially if you're doing a show. You're not paying the cast. You're barely paying your team members. And they come and show up when they want to come up. So, let me give you a little backstory. Reese G reached out to me, this one we were having and everything like that. He was telling me about the show. He said, "Wiley, I want you to be a part of it." I said, "Cool, I want to be executive producer. Either executive producer or cast member. But I don't want to be both. But I'd rather do executive producer. We'll see how the project goes. I help put some investors in it. I pull some of my people together, and I'd be a part of the show." Obviously, I didn't hear from him. So, and then he said he's going to do both. I knew that he could not do both. It's challenging to do both. And what I produce, I said we can get a cast member some gas cards, give a cast member something. You know what I'm saying? Because either buy them lunch, drinks, or whatever. But having them doing it for free, they're gonna do it if they're not getting paid to do it. Everything that I improvised and told them came to pass. A lot of cast members didn't too much care because they wasn't getting a check. So they were doing what they want to do when they want to do it. Then Reese G, when the cast member wanted to do some things, Reese G had to work because he works at a call center, allegedly. So he didn't have the time to record and everything like that. Sometimes he had to tape. Then every once in a while he'd get one of his production people to protect. But he was upset because when he have something going on, he wants them to be there. You can't cancel. If you cancel, you got to give a 24-hour notice. But the production team, they can cancel and don't have to give a 24-hour notice. They can, like, say, for instance, you got to shoot today, and you just waiting and waiting and waiting, and they can literally just say, oh, we ain't gonna be able to make it. No 24 hours. They could do a day of. This will all be allegedly the day of. One of my close sources said that it was so bad that Ressie G only put focus on him and certain members of the cast members that he allegedly sleeping with. This is all alleged, but one of my close sources to the show said that's just how it was, and it was just like a big battle between the cast and between the producers, pretty much Ressie G. And everybody was like, you know, the show should not be like Atlanta Housewives. It should be different. Period. I said the same thing. You're trying to duplicate an unpaid, all your cast not getting paid, trying to duplicate a show of people that are getting on contract. And I knew it was going to butt heads. So we back on the reunion. Then all that stuff is going on. Then Dior said I felt wrong in the show because a lot of my storyline of me working, wasn't featured on the show. And he said the only reason why they put the episode of me doing Old Girl's hair is because it was on the news. It was on the news, and it was a news piece, so they all said, okay, we'll shoot it. Any other time, they didn't want to shoot the episode. They didn't want to shoot them, so it was a lot of times episodes wasn't getting shot because they felt like it wouldn't be good for the show. So Ressie G would show favoritism with certain members. So on that part, I mean, they was really on Ressie G. Then we get to Trey Howard. Trey Howard was crying because he was like, I'm this stylist. I wasn't getting any support. And I'm like, first of all, I'm looking at the screen, looking at my phone, and I'm going to say this to Trey. If anybody sent this to him, thank you. Why in the world are you crying when you're not even a cast member? You are a friend of the show. You're not on the official cast. This man was crying as though he was on the cast. And I wonder, did the producers tell him that he's not an official member of the cast? He was under the impression that he was on the cast, on the main cast, that he wasn't a friend of the show. And I thought it too, because I'm like, he was in most of the storyline, he was in the fight. He didn't give me a friend of the show. He definitely did not give me a friend of the show. He gave me main character member. But he was crying to Ressie G, and Ressie G was like, well, I can't be your mentor because it's gonna make Dior a conflict of interest. And Dior was like, that's dumb. Why you don't want to mentor him? Yes, that's my child, but anybody can mentor him because you probably know something that I can't teach him. Why are you doing that? You're just making excuses. So they just going back and forth. I mean, him and Ressie G was going back and forth. It was a lot of bumping heads. So they kept asking Ayana, whatever her name is. She said, well, do y'all think Ressie G is a good executive producer? What's your thoughts on that? Everybody kept saying he's a terrible executive producer, that he need to pick one. Only one that agreed that Ressie G was a good cast member and executive producer was Ariel. I think I said Ariel. You know, the transgender woman. She was the only one that was on Ressie G's side. The majority of the cast wasn't. But this is what you get when you try to do both. When you try to be these people's friends. George was upset because his friends wasn't featured in the show, and he was upset because their faces were blotted out. Ressie G was like, oh my gosh, they got back to me at the last minute, so we had to just blot them out. But George was like, that's not the case. My friends responded, and they wanted to be on the show. So it was a lot going on, a lot of drama. Pretty much the drama was really on Ressie G. And of course, he mentioned my name on they replayed the Last Supper episode. My name was mentioned. My DM was popping. It was like, Wiley, would you be on the show? I said, no, I would have to be executive producer, get creative control, because you're not going to screw me over like you did those other girls. That's just not going to happen. Especially if I'm not getting paid. I need some creative control over what, and then I need some spots on my own advertisers to promote on the show. You know what I'm saying? So I need a couple of minutes. I need a little 20 minutes, at least 2 spots of advertising per episode and creative control in order for me to be on there. Because I know what I'm going to do when I bring on the show. I have so much storylines. I have so much that I'm going to bring on the show. And I'm just not going to do it for nothing. So I'm going to get something from the table. If I don't get a check, I want 2 advertising spots plus executive producer credit. You know, I want to be EP. It's just a period because I'm paying for all my gas, paying for my food, paying for my clothes. Pretty much going to be taping in my house. Pretty much it's going to be my stories to give all the clicks and views. So, of course, that's what I'm going to bring to the table. Or I'm not going to go on there. And so that's how I said, even though I got a phone call from somebody that was inquiring, those are my steps. It's non-negotiable. It is what it is. Either you take it or leave it, period. I just sit on the sidelines and just report on it. At the end, Dior said Ressie was good but can do better. Absolutely, he could do good and couldn't be doing it. He just can't do both. It's simple. You can't do both. You're going to get frustrated. You're not paying these people. You're still working at a call center. Hello, this is me. How you may I help you? Did you pay your bill? You know, you're doing that. Then plus, you trying to do a show. It's going to be a lot of stress. You're going to stress yourself out. Of course, Trey Romack is very adorable, but he is a crybaby, and he couldn't handle the heat. He was just sitting there crying, and I was getting upset with him crying. I'm like, please get him off the stage. I'm tired of him just sitting here weeping and weeping and weeping. I mean, you are okay stylist, okay? Just keep working. Just keep working, girl. You'll get there. Everybody ain't meant to be a stylist. It's a very hard, challenging job to get into. It's challenging to get clients because most people don't even deal with stylists no more. They become their own stylists because everybody is a stylist now. So he was just crying and crying. I just don't understand. Y'all just don't understand what I'm going through as a stylist. And I just don't understand. I mean, I'm sorry, Trey Howard. Trey Womack, the same way. He need to be off the cast because can't nobody hardly understand. It look like somebody hit him with a shovel in his mouth. You can't understand the word he's saying. But Trey Howard definitely, he cried. I mean, that man was just boo-hooing, crying. He was just a crybaby. The first part, he was about that life. Oh, he arguing big, bag, and tough. The second one, part 2, he was crying. Period. So overall, what else that was in the episode? That's about it. Antonio didn't show up. I talked to Antonio. He said it was the worst decision he ever made. He said it was the worst decision he ever made, ever been up on the show. He said he would never be on the show again. He said that it was embarrassing. He said that they were lying to me. He said that they were doing it wrong. He said that it was trash. He said that he can't trust Ressie G. He said he did not like the fact that my name was being mentioned. So it was a lot with Antonio. So he said he will not be returning to Chasing Dallas. So I've heard from a source that the reason why they don't want to do the show because it's a financial blessing. Ressie G said he didn't get any support from back in Atlanta. They didn't put a lot of money in it. Most of the money came from his pockets. And like I told Ressie G, and originally I said, why do you need that umbrella? Just start your own reality show. You get all of the money. You don't have to share it with nobody. It could just be you and your production company. But why do it with them? Anywho, he didn't want to listen. Everything came to pass. He struggled to get the show off the ground. It costs a lot of money. And you don't own the content. It's owned by Chasing Reality LLC. They own the footage. Dario, he does the editing. Everything is people in Atlanta that owns the content. He doesn't own it. But yet you put all your money into it. That's what I heard. So we looking forward to it. I'm hearing that it's not another season. I'm trying to negotiate and let me take over and be executive producer of it. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows how that's gonna go? But you know, it's just definitely on the list. But I've just been having talks. Who knows? Because I was like, it's a good show. It's a good show. It just needs to be produced a little bit better, in my humble opinion. All right. So that's crazy. They're going live in 4 minutes. Blue Skies, how you doing? I had did the reunion hour late because I was supposed to do the review yesterday. No, actually I was supposed to do a review on Thursday. Didn't do it. I was sleeping. But I said today I definitely gonna have to do the reunion, review of the reunion today, and having a conversation today. talking about the show, and I know a lot of people. They was like, Wiley, you need to go on that show. A lot of people think I should go on there. But it gotta make sense. I'm just not like one of those girls that, because I'm already on YouTube. Now, if it was on television, it'd have been a different story. But I'm already on YouTube getting a check. So I'm not really rushing. I already have my own brand. On the kind, but put your cash. See, yeah, he put his cash in. He doesn't own it. He does, because he didn't listen to me. I told him. I said, listen, you can get your own show. Um, on your channel, build your own YouTube channel, build your own infrastructure, and we have our own spinoff shows. But of course, he loved the girls down there in Atlanta. Of course, he's sleeping with some of them girls, and he gossiped with them. And I said, okay, I would, if I were you, I would start my own show. Somebody else brought an idea to me. They want to start a show. I said, listen, don't start it with their network. Start it from scratch. Start your own show. You don't need them. You could just put a good cast together, put your own editing people together. You make your own money. You control it. It's yours 100%. And you don't have to share nothing with nobody. And then also, too, you can make sure you financially good where you can share some of the revenue with the cast. Because if you give them $100, $40, $60, whatever it takes, giving them something. Because a lot of the cast members, they have been complaining to me for years that they have not been getting a check. Well, if and when you do an official review, we'll watch it again, actually review what you see here. No, I've actually done seeing it and everything else like that. Period, point blank. But the show is definitely wasn't the best. I really didn't like the fact they put Malaysia Booker's situation in there. It was crying. It was some parts in there that didn't need it, because Malaysia Booker wasn't even on the cast. She wasn't even a cast member. They just used, like, they exploited news stories for clicks and views. And majority of the show, it had like a fight, which the fight was blown out of proportion because nobody was injured. It was a little scratch here and there, but that was blown out of proportion. I do agree with what the host said. They need to focus on chasing their dreams. It should have focused more on Carrie D's songs. He did so much. He recorded so much. He recorded so many hours of footage. And a lot of people were wondering, like, how did Carrie D get on the show? I recommended Carrie D on the show because I interviewed Carrie D first. And I said, hey, you should be on Chasing Dallas. And, of course, he talked to the powers that be, talked to Ressie, got in contact with all the people. I said, you should be on there. So some of them folks I actually helped get on the show. I told them you should go on there. And Carrie D was one of the main ones that I said, come on, should go on the show, because I felt like it can help his career. It can help him gain clicks and views. It can help him gain musically. But they did not focus too much into his music because they wanted him in the mess. They wanted Carrie D in the mess, and Carrie D didn't want to be in a mess. And I remember I told him, I said, every once in a while, there's nothing wrong being a little messy so the cast can know who you is, because you gotta have mess. Because in order to make it on YouTube, when you got a bunch of black gay men, they want to see some cattiness, some mess, in my humble opinion. That's what I'm saying. They want to see some mess. They want to see some things. So overall, I'm going to continue to stay on their neck. My sources was on the money for this season. Thank you to the sources that were giving me information. Sorry, Antonio, that you had to just get, blackballed from the show. You didn't even give me the information. That's the sad part. They really thought Antonio was the mole. He was never the mole. It was just so sad the way how they roasted him. And they thought he was giving me information. He wasn't. But I have my source. I got source in Atlanta, and I got source that's on the Dallas. They have been telling me stuff from that cast from years, and that will never change because I'm really good and get information. That show owes you a lot. That's amazing. You encourage a few of the cast. I encouraged them to go on there because I knew it would help them that did not have a platform. So I helped a lot of people get on that show. And we brought a lot of viewership to that show too, because the first season we stayed on. We said it was boring. I was behind the scenes telling everybody, all the executives, everybody in charge, I said it's a boring show. It's extremely boring. It put me to sleep. And I told Ressie G, I said the show was boring. You need a little bit more drama and you need a better cast. Now I wanted him to get the crackhead back on there. Of course, the crackhead refused to come on the show. And y'all already know Tony. I wanted Tony to come back on the show, but He didn't want to come back on. I said I wanted him to come back on. Let's see him getting high. Let's just get into his journey of him trying to get off drugs or relapsing on drugs. But of course, he didn't want to get on. I said, you should definitely get back on the show. I mean, hey, why not? He was like, no. I think his boyfriend at the time told me, no, I don't want my boyfriend to be exploited. I said it'd been good for clicks and views, though, in my humble opinion. Because I think he was on crystal meth. He was on one of them drugs. It was a pipe somewhere. Could have been crack, crystal meth, who knows. But I wanted him back on the show, but of course he didn't want to do it. Let me see what y'all talking about in here. Well, thank y'all so very much for checking out this review. I highly suggest that y'all check it out. I got another reality show that I'm going to be getting into. G Hustle, definitely. They have in my inbox. They want me to review the show, and I'm hearing that it's off the chain. So I'm gonna drop that trailer. I'm gonna drop that trailer on my Instagram at Wiley Show, because G Hustle is definitely lit. I know about 4 or 5 of the cast members personally, and they was like, Wiley, you gotta review the show, man. I was like, okay. Now when I review the show, don't get mad. Either I'm gonna like it or hate it, but I'm like, damn, that trailer that they dropped was off the chain. And one thing about G Hustle, one thing I like about them, that show in Atlanta, I'm really good with the producers of the show. Like, they are really good in sending me information, sending me cast members, sending me some tea. I really like that. I really like that. So I can't wait. So we're gonna be reviewing that show, and that show is very entertaining. So I'm gonna drop the trailer on my IG, and we're gonna get into it. They wasn't getting paid to be exploited. No, they wasn't. Nobody on the cast was getting anything. Nobody on the cast was getting not a coin, nothing. And Ressie G was trying to roast and gag me, but I'm like, girl, every dollar that I get from YouTube, I keep. You have to share what money you get. And then you don't take home nothing. You got to pay for all your staff. You got to pay for them rental cars that you're getting to pretend like you got it like that. You don't tape in your house because you share with roommates. And I'm like, why not show that you have roommates? I mean, why not show that you struggling just like everybody else? I told them, I said, we're going to show me struggle. We're going to show me eaters and noodles. We're going to show me sleeping on the couches. I said, we're going to show all of that. And they was like, and Ressie was like, you really going to show that? I said, yeah, like, why not? I will show it all. Because I'm going to show that I'm a struggling blogger and I'm trying to make it. Why not? Why not show that you are struggling? Why not show it? And so with people being inspired, like, oh, this man sleeping on the couch and he's still talking his mess on the internet, you ain't got nothing to do but to respect that. But me up there putting on some clothes and pretending to look like that I'm so grand and rich and wealthy, if I'm not rich and wealthy, like, I'm not gonna pretend. If you ain't rich and wealthy, you ain't gotta look like you got all these fake watches and going to Enterprise. I'm like, what are you doing at Enterprise? Why are you renting all these cars to pretend like you got it like that? Because you don't. And Dior put it out there that said everybody knows you broke. It's okay to live for Jack. It is okay to be a working entrepreneur. It is okay. It doesn't make you less grand. But when you talk all that mess, he couldn't talk that mess to me on that show, because I would have went in. I already know once I go on the show, if I ever do, I'm going to be getting it in with 80-90% of the cast. Only people that think I will probably be cool with is Trey Womack. I won't get along with Dior. Me and him gonna bump here because he said some messed up stuff about me. Ressie G, definitely gonna get into it with him, and me and Markel probably will get into a fight. Period. I'm gonna just be honest. Most of the cast I'll be getting into a fight with, verbally and probably physically. It will episode after episode after episode after episode after episode. I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. It's gonna be lit if I were to get on there, but I don't want to be on that fighting. I'm about to be 30 years old. I don't like fighting, throwing people over the ground and stuff. Somebody said, Wiley, you would definitely bring interviews. I absolutely would. I would definitely bring interviews. And it will make it internet. It will make it known. Some stuff like everybody will talk about it because I'm coming in from social media. I'm coming in as a social media person. that are growing on these YouTube streets. So automatically, I'm coming in with a fan base that are going to listen and watch. Yeah, so just like even looking at, let's get into the station head piece. We are still trending on station head. Can't believe it. I'm like, damn, that first episode is still trending. So I need to re-listen to it and see why in the world that episode still trending. It is still trending on the charts. Like other people, they rush to do episodes and trying to beat us in the ratings, and we happy, we content because my whole thing is we're trending on station once a week, never change, never just rushing to no episode. We keep our same schedule, we keep our same formula. Once a week, about a good 20-30 minutes of a show, and it will be dope. Now y'all available, y'all can listen on your computer. And if you have Android, listen on the computer. If you don't, you can actually subscribe to our Patreon or listen to us. So we're actually doing it. And I'll say we because it's you all that made it possible and showing people like how can Wiley be able to compete with the biggest of the biggest YouTubers and yet still be in the top 20. And he doesn't have half of an audience because I really have people, a strong base that don't mind supporting. And a physical drama that's what we want. You got it, Wiley. Yes. A physical fight with Thriller. Richie G will regret not having you on the show and all of that. All right. Well, thank y'all so very much. I will see y'all later. Make sure y'all be safe. It was a hilarious episode. Let's on the phone while you on station. Thank you so very much, and we will be back tomorrow night. No, I'm sorry. What tomorrow? No, Monday night. I'm sorry. Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you on the Central, that's 9. If you're on the West Coast, that's 7 p.m. So I'm looking forward to seeing each and every one of you all on there and listen to it. Thank you. Somebody just subscribed to our station. And one thing about station, it lets you know who just tuned in. We get a couple of those requests a day. And that's one of the good parts of it is being on the charts, because people will go on that homepage and see, oh, the Wiley Show. Let me check out this show. And so we have a big audience over there. Even when our competitors go over there and do shows, because I'm on the charts, I will gain from that. So we gain from those that's on the charts, and we're able to, when they go and download station here, they see the Wiley Show. They see the Wiley Show all in the analytics just there. So they go over there and they subscribe to us. Good morning, everybody. So it was great. Thank you all for checking us out on IG. We're doing incredible with the ratings over there. I mean, the views are up on IG because we're giving y'all more content, more videos over there. So we thank you all for doing that. Do the news. Looking forward to it. Oh, well, I'm going to try, y'all. I got to see what's over there to do the news, because everybody looking forward to me doing the news on the backup channel. So everybody forced to be doing the news. So I got to go double check, look at what's going on, go check out some stuff I can get with the news. It's probably going to be a short, sweet news segment, but not like a lengthy news segment. But we'll see how that goes tomorrow. I'll see if I come up with enough, because if I don't have enough, I won't do it, because I don't believe in doing stuff. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so very much. I will see you all. Man, shout out to my radio. Thank you. I will see you all later on today. We're going to get some more footage, some more videos. I'm looking forward to it. Shout out to Kaya. I found out Kaya's Twitter account. So I'm following her on Twitter. And if anybody want to get her Twitter account, I'll post it on my IG. So if anybody want to follow Kaya, because she's definitely have a Twitter account on Twitter. Yes. So definitely looking for it. It feels really good out today. I really wish that I can retire and just be at home and do videos all day, every day. But one day we'll be able to do so. Peace. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Well, I keep saying tomorrow. Tonight. Tonight. And make sure y'all go back and watch the video and leave us a comment. And thank you for liking the button. Let me know how I did in the